Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
My guest is Don Mosher, corporate consultant for Cypress Development. Welcome back to the show, Don.
My pleasure, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are things going around the Cypress Development office, plans for the holidays for the company?
Everybody's getting ready for Christmas. We're waiting to get the results on our pre-feasibility study sometime in January. And there really isn't a lot for anybody to do in the meantime. It's all in the lab where basically you're taking a bench version of a pilot project and taking solution that you've run through filtration and now taking the solution and trying to take it to a point where you can produce lithium grade or battery grade lithium hydroxide with electrolysis. So it's a multi-step process. You're starting out with clay, you're leaching the lithium out of it, you're removing the solids, your process runs it all the way down to a point where we're ending up with an end product, not something solid, but a solution that then can be dealt with and sold. What we're happy about is our jurisdiction as much as anything else. We're seeing all kinds of problems with lithium production around the world, specifically the brines up in the Atacama Desert. And it's a baffling market to some regards right now. It's not traded globally the way large commodities like copper are. It's more of a contract basis. And listening to different experts out there, they can't figure out why the prices are down 12% and the demand's up 18%.
Don, I think in our previous interview, you mentioned, though, that lithium comes in so many different grades and the price you get depends on the grade and its ultimate destination.
Yeah, and I mean, when I talk battery grade, I'm not dealing with specific specifications that different battery manufacturers are requesting for their specific product. So, I mean, we can talk battery grade, but at the end of the day, what are the specs on that battery grade lithium? The U.S. has fallen behind, but they appear to be trying to catch up. When I talked to you last week, I knew of 5 U.S. battery plants that were in the pipeline. And then on Friday last week, GM announced a deal with LG, and they're going to build a $2.3 billion plant in Ohio. So that just added a number 6 plant to that. You're looking at a country with virtually no lithium production. I mean, the only production in the country is from a small facility in Clayton Valley where we're located. It's, 3,500 tons a year into a market that's 320,000 tons of demand and is projected to grow to 800 to 1 million tons by 2025. With the growth we're seeing at 18% and the fall in prices by 12%, it's putting a lot of projects on care and maintenance because the economics don't make sense anymore. And I think it's a particular market that can be manipulated, whether it's by the Chinese or whoever manipulating it, to try and get the lithium at the best prices they can on a contract basis, because nobody out there is trading it globally. And if I had a druthers, I would want to be in Clayton Valley, Nevada, in the U.S. of A., putting forward one of the largest lithium production scenarios out there at very reasonable costs, offering a domestic supply of lithium to at least these 6 mega factories that are in the pipeline. Because where are they going to get their lithium if we come up with shortages? There's experts out there saying that we are going to have a lithium shortage. They will not be able to keep up with demand by 2021. And we'll only be through half the permitting process at that point in time. But I think with our pre-feasibility study, it's going to put the project, if not the company, into play. Somebody's going to want to own it. Somebody much bigger than Cypress that probably is already a global producer.
Is it encouraging for Cypress and the development of lithium to see an expanding market for batteries. We just saw Harbor Air in Vancouver that runs float planes on short hauls, 15 to 30 minutes, which is, I guess, perfect for a battery-powered aircraft. And although it's a very tiny market and just experimental right now, does that give an eye to the future of what's going to happen with batteries?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're working diligently to try and increase the energy storage capacity of batteries. That's always been the problem with electric. To be able to store and transport airplanes, cars, trucks, I don't care what it is, but can you actually store enough energy to get that particular vehicle from point A to point B and carry the required load? And in the past, it's always been the size of batteries and the real lack of energy storage compared to gasoline or diesel fuel or anything along those lines. So we're going to see more advancements coming in. We're going to see more expansion. I mean, I believe the Tesla plant is 30 gigawatts right now in Nevada, and they're looking to expand it to 70 and maybe bigger. So even though I'm talking, okay, now there's 6 megafactories in the pipeline, don't forget that one's going to continue to grow in size to supply Tesla with the Panasonic batteries that they happen to be using in their cars. I can't see anything but increased demand around the world. And I just don't know where the lithium supply is going to come from, because the brines, I can't see producing a lot more lithium. I don't see how they're going to expand them with the water problems that they have up there. And obviously, if you're pumping a brine, you're having an impact on the aquifers, and the locals are all using that same water for agriculture and their own household needs.
For people new to Cypress development, what are you all about?
We are a development company developing a lithium resource that'll hopefully also produce some rare earths. We trade on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the symbol CYP. We trade down in the United States on the OTC under the symbol CYDVF, and in Frankfurt under the symbol C1Z1. All our information is available online at cypressdevelopmentcorp.com. And right now, we're trading in around 18 cents, although we're developing a project that's got a net present value of $1.43 billion US based on our preliminary economic assessment that we put out earlier in the year.
Don, thanks a lot for the update.
My pleasure.
My guest has been Don Mosher, corporate consultant for Cypress Development. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on December 11th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.